So up next, we have a presentation from Warriedar Resources, a company which is changing its name from Innova Metals. To tell us more about their gold projects in WA and Nevada, today I'm joined by Managing Director, Amanda Buckingham. How are you, Amanda?
Very well, thank you, Jane.
Thanks for coming. We'll bring up your presentation.
Thanks, Jane. Warriedar Resources is an exploration company that people don't know enough about at the moment, and there's a good reason for that. Yesterday, we completed an important project acquisition in WA, and part of that, as Jane mentioned, was a name change from Innova Metals to Warriedar Resources. Now, I believe this new project that we have in WA will give us the opportunity for immediate and significant growth, and I will go through today and tell you why I believe that. Welcome to Warriedar. That's actually a statement that the team and I have been looking forward to saying for a long time. This deal has been several months in the making. We completed yesterday and we are delighted to be now on the ground drilling and moving ahead with the project. So we now hold two projects, both in Tier 1, world-renowned global mining provinces. We have one project in Nevada and one in Western Australia. Both of them are right alongside producing mines. In Nevada, we have just over 1 million ounces of gold, and in WA, we have just under 1 million ounces in our existing resource. So our total resource base at the moment is 2 million ounces of gold, but we are focused on rapidly building those resources. We have the team in place to do that. We've just completed a capital raise, so we're well funded, and we have committed to drilling 40,000 metres on our WA projects this year. And we will be providing a mineral resource update mid-year. So there's a lot happening and we are definitely hitting the ground running. The path to here. Creating a premium exploration business does not happen overnight. About a year ago, we set ourselves a new strategy. We wanted to hold two projects in Tier 1 jurisdictions with clear upside potential, and that is exactly where we're at today. The first stage of our process was to appoint an exploration manager in Nevada. We realised that the only way to explore Nevada is to be in Nevada, on the ground. So Steve McMillan is managing that operation for us and it's working well. I came in as MD last year and we brought Mark Connolly on. Now, Mark Connolly has a great track record of growing shareholder value. He's going to be instrumental in us moving this project forward and getting into development. He's also got a great sense of humour, which is very important in this game. As I mentioned, we just completed a $9 million capital raise, so we are well funded, and we completed the acquisition of our two projects in WA yesterday, Golden Range and Fields Find, and I will show you them. Part of the process was a share consolidation, and we also welcome Dr. Jimin Chen to our board. Our name change to Warriedar Resources is combined with an ASX ticker code change to WA8. Now, at the moment, we are still trading as AWB. That should be officially changed on Monday. Let me show you where we are. Now, this is our new project, Golden Range and Fields Find. And you can see on the left, there are two packages. The Golden Range package is the long, skinny one. That is actually where most of our million-ounce gold resource sits. The second project, Fields Find, is more circular in shape. It's got a very interesting layered intrusive complex, and one of the gold resources occurs on that project on the eastern side. Both of the projects sit right in the middle of the richly mineralised Murchison province. Now, it's an excellent neighbourhood. We are surrounded by operating and profitable mines. We have a commanding land package. There's over 800 square kilometres and we have 70 kilometres of strike. So it is a remarkable package and we believe there's a lot of upside potential, with the drilling that we're going to carry on this year. So where are we at right now and where are we headed? Well, right now we are drilling on site. Drilling actually started in mid-January. As part of the acquisition deal, the vendor had to carry out a drilling program. So we are well into that program. We've drilled at least 4,700 metres at our first key resource extension target called Wind Well. That is going really well. The rig will stay on site. In fact, it will stay on Golden Range the entire year. We are expecting assay results possibly by the end of next week, with a commitment to having most of them from this first program by the end of the quarter. So results are imminent. We've got a second rig mobilising to site to fields find mid-March, and that rig will focus on drilling Barron, one of the gold resources that we have on that project. So our goal, our target, is to increase our mineral resource significantly. We're focused on high-grade free milling gold. We've got a target of 2 million ounces by the end of next year. We believe that is achievable. Ambitious, but certainly achievable. In parallel with our gold search, we believe there's significant opportunities for base metals, particularly copper, across the project. And we've already flown a significant airborne EM survey over the ground targeting copper. So this year, we are committed to drilling 40,000 metres, and we are well funded to do that. So what sort of infrastructure do we have? What does the site actually look like? Well, you can see here, the actual site was an operating mine until 2019 when it was put onto care and maintenance. So we have an existing plant configured only to process soft oxide ore. So if we go into production using this plant, there's a clear pathway to accelerate that process. Our approach at the moment is that we are not constrained by that mill and its capacities. We have removed that constraint entirely, and we are looking across the entire project for as much gold as possible. But what this does give us, the plant, there's a significant camp. I think it's, 160-person camp. There's a really comfortable air-conditioned office, a haul road. There's all the infrastructure you need to actually be based on site and explore from site. Our geos are all based on site. So we've got great infrastructure, and it just means we can fast track our exploration. This is the cross-section that I really enjoy showing because it's a really good representation of the opportunity. Now we have about 31 pits along our main belt, 10 resources. This is one of them, Wind and Well, and this is where we have just been drilling. Now you can see that the existing resource, the brown in the cross-section, it extends to just the top of the fresh zone. Across the entire area, there has been hardly any deep drilling because the focus was on the shallow soft oxide layer that could be provided as fill for the mill. So previous explorers did not look at the fresh zone at all, and in fact all the drilling is very shallow. Any deeper drilling that exists generally extends the ore bodies, which is quite remarkable. You can see that here at Wind and Well. We've got this ore body extending for at least another 100 metres. So we have been drilling here with assay results expected hopefully next week. Removing that constraint has opened entirely this search space for us. We also know that deposits in the area tap deep, so we've got a good reason to believe that most of these deposits extend at depth. And we've also done our targeting, and we know there's significant targets elsewhere. We've got a solid pipeline of resource extension, brownfields and greenfields targets to drill. So it's an incredible opportunity for us. I like to show this slide. This is the Austin pit at the northern end of our tenure, and you can see the grey arrow shows you where Austin is. As I said, the drilling is shallow. I think the average depth is 40 metres. So we are going to extend the drilling and explore depth extensions to these resources. Fields Find. So this is the project over on the eastern side with a layered ultramafic complex, and it's really quite unique. It's completely messed up from a geological perspective, and that is exactly what you want for targeting. We've got on the eastern side, we've got Barron, our gold resource. And on the western side, what we're calling the Warriedar corridor, we've got a historic copper mine. We've got 2 historic gold mines. So this is our Fields Find project. Its potential is, actually, look, it's a gold play, but there's also a lot of potential for base metals here. We've got an existing gold resource on the eastern side called Barron. And on the western side, we've got the Warriedar corridor, which has a whole host of elevated gold, copper and nickel, as well as some historic gold and copper mines. So we will be drilling here from mid-March, and we look forward to unraveling the story and working out what's going on. It's an extremely interesting area. I just want to touch on the copper opportunity because previous explorers have only focused on gold. Now, we believe there's significant potential for base metals, especially copper. The reason we say that, the first reason is Golden Grove, WA's best copper mine and arguably a world-class VMS system, is 3 kilometres from our tenure. The same rocks that host Golden Grove track into our ground. Along the main belt, just to our south, is Capricorn Metals' Mount Gibson Gold Project. Now, that started its life as a base metal deposit and the gold was overprinted later. So our belt is well endowed with base metals. We've even got a historic copper mine on our ground. So we are chasing the base metal potential in parallel with the gold. And we will be drilling copper targets this year. I put this slide in because I really like what this shows us about the entire province. Now, our resources are shallow and there's limited deep drilling. What we know from the area is that most of the mines in the area tap deep. Golden Grove has been mined at 1,800 metres below ground, Mount Magnet 1,400. Mount Gibson, the mineralisation goes down to almost 1 kilometre. We know the gold taps deep. In terms of our tenure, we have no understanding of how deep these deposits are. They are open entirely at depth, and that's an incredible opportunity for us. In summary, our global resource portfolio, we have 2 million ounces of gold, and we plan to grow that significantly this year. I should touch on Big Springs. Big Springs is our project in Nevada. Now, for those who don't know Nevada, Nevada is an incredible place for gold. The individual deposits can be up to 20, 30, even 40 million ounces. Our Big Springs project sits immediately north of the Jerritt Canyon mine. This is owned by First Majestic Silver. It has produced over 10 million ounces of gold. And in a classic Carlin sense, the deposits occur as clusters. Now, our project only has the Big Springs 1 million ounce resource. We believe there is a cluster of deposits. We have done all the work over the last few years to work up the ground, and we are ready to drill these targets. Having the WA project gives us a bit of optionality and flexibility in terms of what we do. We can move our team from WA to Nevada as required, and this project at the moment requires a permit to allow us to drill closer to Jerritt Canyon. So we are still extremely bullish on our Big Springs project, but our focus at the moment will be on WA. This is our board. I believe we have a fantastic board, and our market cap at the moment is about 90 mil, and we have cash to fund our program. Where are we going? What does our year look like? I think this is a good summary of what we're doing. We've got 1 rig at the moment on site, and we plan to keep that there all year. We've got a 2nd rig turning up mid-March to drill at Fields Find. We've got a diamond rig scheduled for both this half of the year and the next to do our deeper drilling and also our met testing on one of our deposits. And we're planning to do a resource update both mid-year and at the end of the year. A lot happening. In summary, we now have 2, I believe, to be fantastic projects, both in Tier 1 pro-mining jurisdictions. They are underexplored properties. They're ripe for modern targeting and drilling. We have a plan to drill 40,000 metres in Australia this year, and we are well funded to actually deliver on these assets. I look forward to keeping everyone updated on our progress, and that's Mick, our head fieldy on site. We're very pleased that we completed our acquisition yesterday, and we look forward to the drilling results that are imminent. Thank you.
Amanda, thanks so much for the great presentation. We've got a couple of questions, so I'll jump into them. So in terms of the resource upgrade, you mentioned we were targeting 2 million ounces. So can you please confirm if this is based on the entire 40,000 metre drilling program?
Actually, no. The 40,000 metres is what we plan to drill this year. The 2 million ounce resource is our target for the end of next year. And so like with any exploration program, there needs to be gated decision points. So our target of 2 million ounces, I think, is achievable. It's ambitious, but achievable. But the 40,000 metres is what we're committed to drilling this year.
Wonderful. And just so with the existing plant, has the company looked into the costs associated with the restart?
We've done some preliminary costings. We had Optero come in and have a look. We are We're going to do that properly. I don't want to mention numbers yet because we don't have a proper study, but I'd like to say that in parallel with building our resource, we will know we're going to explore all options to commercialise these assets so that when the time is right, we will make the right decision for shareholders.
Perfect. Well, Amanda, thank you again for joining us on Broker Briefing, and we look forward to further updates.
Thanks, Jane.